Hey guys, what's going on? FantasyTeamAdvisors.com, bringing home the bacon NFL DFS video. It is for week 2 that we're already in. So Thursday night already happened, and it was a pretty okay day. But we've got a full slate ahead for this weekend, so super excited to go over that. So this video is going to be about the quarterbacks, and so we're going to look over our matchup tool now. I'll preface that by saying the fantasy points allowed by the defenses are from 2019. Obviously, we only have 1 week worth of information for to go off of, so it's kind of skewed. So I was thinking about waiting probably till week 5, week 6, unless you guys would rather not. To put out the new fantasy points per game given up by defenses, which will help construct the video and help construct the matchup tool. So we'll go over the matchup tool. This one will be for the quarterbacks, because if I did for every single position, it would take forever. And I don't think that's something that you probably want to sit through. So we'll break it up between we'll see. I'll break it up through there if that is something you guys would like. So I do want to just thank you guys for checking this out. I planned on going live Sunday morning, last Sunday, for NFL, stardom, cinema questions, stuff like that. I'm finding it very difficult to do that with a 7-month-old. So I'm trying to find the best time to possibly go live. Maybe Saturday night at 7 p.m. for a couple of hours might be best. So if you want, please hit that subscribe button here, hit that bell notification so you guys will know when we go live. Just trying to find the best time that I can. Might be 8 p.m. because the baby will be asleep. So let's try that, and we'll see throughout the day to see how that goes. So Fantasy Team Advisors is the website. We are running a special. This is the last weekend. We have 10 coupon codes left. So if you go to FTA Plus here, you go down, you get the year pass for $3.99. You click Join FTA Now, and when it asks for a coupon code, you go all capital letters, all one word, year pass 99. That's YEARPASS 99. You get $300 off, so you get a year pass for $99. Again, there's only 10 coupon codes left, so once it's there and once it's used, it's gone. So go check that out. So what you guys are here for, we'll go the matchup tool. Now, we had this last year, and it was a massive hit. A lot of people liked it, and it helped out a lot of people when building those lineups. So you can check it out here. We've got it on the website. So any questions, I'll try to answer them. So how this is broken down is each position, so quarterbacks obviously all the way down, each position is updated each week, but the defenses are going to stay the same for a little bit. So the Cardinals were averaging 22.9 fantasy points to the quarterback last year. This week they're playing Washington, they're playing Haskins. I can't trust him. GPP, maybe. Cash-wise, I would not look at that at all. That's kind of why I have some news and notes over here. So if you do see some notes, they will be added throughout the day or throughout the weekend. Still waiting on some news and notes so they can get through their last practice and then walk through, because we have a lot of people doubtful, a lot of people out and ridiculously hurt already, and that's, they're behind. They didn't get preseason. They didn't get as much rep as they could have. So a lot of things are happening, so we will wait. I will add players into this once we feel it necessary, once I see how everything gels together. Normally, middle of Saturday, I've got it updated to the most that I can. Maybe Sunday morning I can throw something together if someone's out last minute. But and then looking at this, these are fantasy points per game last year. So you could see they were giving up 22.9, but Washington as a team was only getting 12.3 fantasy points per game at the quarterback position, depending on who they throw out there. So that is an option there. The number 2 QB, according to the matchup tool, is Josh Allen against the Dolphins. We saw the Dolphins We saw Cam Newton run all over them. Josh Allen can run all over them as well. He also has targets to run and throw. Last week, 33 for 46, 71.7% completion, threw for 312 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 rushing touchdown. So he helped cash for a lot of people. He's in a great spot again this week facing the Dolphins. Next up is Mitch Trubisky against the Giants. We saw them kind of flop on Monday Night Football. Big Ben was able to carve them up. Just looking at that, you got Trubisky. Now, a lot of people were off of Trubisky in week 1. And we had him in a stack. We had him in a, I believe it was Trubisky, Robinson, and maybe Miller. I can't remember who the stack was at the moment. He came through. I mean, it was slow, so it started off extremely slow, but he had an amazing second half. Threw for 242 yards and 3 touchdowns, only 1 sack, so that offensive line really helped him out the first week. If they can continue that, I really love that. Next one is Lamar Jackson against the Texans. I mean, we know Lamar Jackson. He's going to run. He's going to throw. He's got all of these targets. He's got running backs. He's got a 3-headed beast running backs. I mean, he can do that. He can run himself, so there's 4 people that can run. Then he's got the wide receivers. Hollywood Brown dominated last week. Then you've got Mark Andrews you can't forget about. So this should be I mean, we saw the Texans, what they gave up to Patrick Mahomes last week. Gave up 211 yards with 3 touchdowns and only sacked once. If this game somehow is a shootout, which I don't see, that would boost Jackson even more. But, I mean, he is a lock almost every week for a cash game there. So I really like Lamar Jackson there. Then you've got the Saints versus the Raiders. You've got Drew Brees. Had a down week last week. Really let me down on drafters. I was in first place pretty much all day, winning $500. I dropped down to 5th place, and it was only $75. Just the GVPs, they're very top heavy, and then it drops down. He only threw for 160 yards against Tampa Bay, 2 touchdowns, 1 sack, but I love him this week against the Raiders. I really do. Next game is Aaron Rodgers versus the Lions defense. Now, we saw what Trubisky was able to do, 242 yards against them. Then we saw what Aaron Rodgers was able to do. He threw for 364 yards and 4 touchdowns. If you put Aaron Rodgers in your lineup, you're going to stack him with Devontae Adams. And you could do, Scantling or Lazard. Just depends on who it is. Aaron Jones. But Aaron Rodgers was in the $1 million winner last week. Just absolutely dominated. And he's in a great spot against the Lions' iffy defense that have some key players that are, they're questionable right now, but, you never know what that means going into the weekend. So Baker Mayfield just went up last night. Then you've got the Panthers. You got Teddy Bridgewater against the Bucks. The Bucks were giving up 20.3 fantasy points last year. The Panthers, obviously, that's skewed 13.5 because once Cam was hurt, then they did Bridgewater wasn't there. But Bridgewater last week threw for 270 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. He's a cheaper option on most slates, and he could dominate for you. Now, this one is where it's a little bit different. Washington last year, 19.7. They absolutely crushed Carson Wentz and the Eagles on week 1. I do love Kyler Murray, though. We saw what he was able to carve up and do to the 49ers. And I'm really looking forward to him doing it again. Even that, 230 yards on there. He only threw for 1 touchdown, did have an interception, 2 sacks, but he did have a rushing touchdown. And that was a pretty impressive rushing touchdown. I think it was like 40 yards or something like that, and he just zigzagged in and out of defenders and scored. So he's got, if you're taking Kyler Murray, you are taking Nuke. You're taking Hopkins for sure on that one. Next one, the Saints at the Raiders, Derrick Carr. Derek Carr last week, 239 yards with 1 touchdown. I'm probably not going with him. Probably avoid him. Joe Burrow already went. Ryan Tannehill, I don't mind him. I would definitely stack him with Corey Davis because A.J. Brown, I just saw the news bulletin, came out and he's supposedly out. So him being out, Corey Davis, Adam Humphries, those are 2 options. I would go Davis first and then Humphries. Davis, so I'd go Tannehill and Davis in a if you're stacking for cash, I would go Tannehill, Derrick Henry, and Adam Humphries. I would do Derrick Henry goes in all of your lineups with Tannehill, but I would put Davis in cash and Humphries in GPP. But we saw just domination out of Derrick Henry on Monday night. I think he had 31 touches, 31 carries, and 3 or 4 catches. Just absolutely crushed the Broncos defense there. Next one is Kirk Cousins versus the Colts. I don't trust him enough. He got sacked twice last week, threw an interception, 2 touchdowns. I believe at halftime he was like at 6 passing yards or something, some ridiculous number. I wouldn't look at Kirk Cousins one-off, but GPP, you could throw him in there with Adam Thielen. Next is Gardner Minshew. He's obviously, if you look at completions, 95%. Looking at that, he only missed one pass. Minshew there had 3 touchdowns with the upset, so I think he'll be a popular play this week again. You got Cam Newton, only threw the ball 19 times for 155 yards, but he had 2 rushing touchdowns. He's going up against the Seahawks. We saw the Seahawks defense give up 450 yards to Matt Ryan. I'm not saying Cam Newton has the same targets as Matt Ryan. Doesn't have really the same wide receiver core, but they did just get torched last week. So you could use that. I think Newton will be a popular play. I think he'll be on the showdowns. Probably would be one of the MVPs in the showdown on FanDuel or DraftKings, whatever you're playing. Next one is Tyrod Taylor against the Chiefs. I don't trust him enough. I will probably not have any shares of him. Next one is Jared Goff against the Eagles. We saw the Eagles defense kind of be laxed last week in allowing Haskins. He only got 178 yards, but Jared Goff is better than Dwayne Haskins. So looking at Goff, love Robert Woods with him. Higbee, I think a lot of people got burned by Cam Akers in week 1. Didn't go with Malcolm Brown. Malcolm Brown came through for them, so you could definitely look at stacking around there. Then you got Matt Ryan against the Cowboys. I love Matt Ryan here. Threw the ball 54 times last week. If that's going to be a trend, you're going to have to get him in some of your lineups if he has that much volume throwing the ball. Matt Ryan, 450 yards, like I said, 2 touchdowns, 2 sacks, 1 interception. But I do love me some Matty Ice this week. Next one is Carson Wentz against the Rams. I don't know. This one's tough. I think his ownership will be lower because of how terrible he was last week. He still went 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, but he did have 2 interceptions. So skewed a little bit. 270 yards, nothing to blink at. It's good. But people are going to see he looked like crap. They're going to say, oh, they lost the game. Maybe they don't have it. And boom. So, that being said, I probably would go Wentz in GPPs. But it depends on who you're going to... Miles Sanders is going to be back. Desean Jackson was questionable. He should be in there. Should be good to go. We'll kind of just see how it is with any news coming out. You got Panthers, and then you've got Tom Brady going up against the Panthers. I'm okay with that. Panthers did just they gave up 239 yards to Derek Carr last week. Tom Brady, was criticized. He had 2 interceptions. He was criticized by his own coach. We'll see how he takes that. Will he be mad? Maybe. Will we see TB and TB dominating? We could. He has Godwin and Evans, and he still targets a wide receiver nobody was rostering unless you have an optimizer and you're throwing out 150 lineups a night. So that is something to pay attention to. Definitely looking at that. Phillip Rivers against the Vikings. I just can't trust Phillip Rivers. I won't have much share of him. I don't think I'll have any shares of Sam Darnold. I will Roethlisberger, love Juju. I think he's back. I think you're going to stack there. I know this is far down, but Mahomes, I mean, he's pretty much matchup proof. Love Mahomes there. Stafford against the Packers. This could be a shootout. So looking to get Stafford there, just depending on who's going to be in his wide receiver core starting. Drew Lock against the Steelers. We saw the Steelers absolutely shut down Daniel Jones. We saw them absolutely shut down Saquon to only 6 rushing yards. Did have 66 receiving yards, but be really hard to want to take. It'd be really hard to take Drew Lock, for sure. Melvin Gordon, GPP-wise, maybe. I think Phillip Lindsay might be out a couple of weeks, so... I mean, but the Steelers' run defense was absolutely just stopping everything on Monday night. Next one, Ryan Fitzpatrick against the Bills. Don't trust him. Saw him throw 3 interceptions last week. Make sure he's still the starting quarterback by the time you watch this video, by the time kickoff happens. But I'm looking at the Bills' defense here. Definitely there. Second to last on the matchup sheet, but not in our hearts, Desean Watson against the Ravens. It's going to be a tough matchup for him, but his ownership should be a little bit lower with that. And then Russell Wilson against the Patriots. Everyone knows Patriots had an amazing defense last year. But Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson. He's coming off 31 for 35, 89% completion, 322 yards, and 4 touchdowns with 3 sacks, no interceptions, and had no rushing touchdowns. We know he can run. We know he can dump the pass off to Carson. And he's got DK Metcalf who dominated. He's got Tyler Lockett that dominated. He's got a lot of things going good for him. I know he's lower on this list, but I absolutely love him there this week as well. So there you go, guys. Those are the quarterbacks. That does not mean this is who we like in the order we like. I will be putting out an article. Depending on when you watch this video, it might be out already. It'll be on the front page or just hit the NFL page. We'll do, it's usually about 2 top tier options at each position, a value, and then a couple others under there for each position. We'll look at that. So if you have any questions, definitely check it out. If you want to see, so let's see. What am I looking for? So our cheat sheet from week 1. If it'll load. So our cheat sheet consists of who we like. And you might not be able to see this. Let's see. Make it bigger. There we go. So this is FanDuel, main slate, who we like, their salaries, the DVP, the team totals, game totals. Those obviously do change. If we like them for core cash or both, and the projected fantasy points. Same thing all the way down each position. So we had some, Michael Thomas obviously let us down, but love DeAndre Hopkins, love Devontae Adams, Thielen, Godwin, but he just didn't get the targets like we thought he would. Kittle did end up getting hurt, so that kind of hurt us a little bit. Ertz came through. Mark Andrews came through. And then the defenses that we liked. The Ravens defense against against Cleveland was pretty good. DraftKings, same thing with DraftKings, all the way down. We have stacks in there. So Matt Ryan, we loved him as the number 1 stack, threw for 450 yards. So when you're stacking, it is kind of good to, if you think it's going to be a high-scoring affair, take like Matt Ryan and say Julio Jones, but then stack a wide receiver on the opposing team, because if it is a high-scoring affair and they're behind, they're going to have to throw the ball. So that is a good one. Carson Wentz really just let us down. Fitzpatrick was GPP only because of DVP and his price, but Devontae Parker got hurt as per usual. Phillip Rivers, Mitch Trubisky, loved Mitch Trubisky in that one. Did pretty well with that as well. So then we had the single game. So this was last Thursday night. And I felt pretty good. Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the captain or the MVP spot here just absolutely dominated. Will Fuller would have absolutely dominated. David Johnson, Mahomes, then flex plays, obviously. It's kind of trickier to build those lineups because just anything can happen. But on DK, I really do love kickers. Except if, you're Steven Gostkowski and we pick you on Monday night and you miss 4 kicks, which shouldn't happen. But then, we got projections and stuff like that. So that is our cheat sheet. If you have questions with that, definitely let me know. You get that part of your package. Like I said, you guys can sign up. Follow us on all social media. If you go to fantasyteamadvisors.com, you can click any of these buttons. It'll take you to our social media. I am going to try to figure out what we're looking at and when I can go live. Follow us on Twitter at advisors_team. I will tweet out if we go live. I'll do the link, everything like that. Everything will be out there. Part of the year package, again, click yearly pass. Use promo code or coupon code YEARPASS99, all one word, all capital letters. You'll get $300 off. You'll get this for $99. 10 coupon codes left. After that, it's gone. That year pass includes every sport we do. So looking at this, you will get a year of NFL. You'll get the rest of MMA that we have. NBA single game, so I'm looking... We don't really do anything with single games, but if that's something you guys are interested in, we could, but anything can happen with that. And then someone did want to know, instead of doing like so we used to do Thursday through Sunday, or Thursday through Monday slate, then Sunday main slate, then Sunday Monday slate. But instead of doing the Thursday through Monday, because most of the time, specifically this coming up, this next week, Jacksonville versus Miami. No one wants to see that. Doing like an afternoon slate or a turbo slate, whatever site it is, like a 2-game or 3-game slate, because that's where you can make your money. So if that's something you guys are interested in, click the links down below, sign up, comment down below here. And if you guys want to win a free 5-day pass, 5-day pass to this, all you have to do is be a subscriber to this video. Hit that like button, hit that bell notification, and tell me what quarterback is going to throw for the most amount of yards in week 2, and how many yards are they going to throw for. So, that being said, it's Price is Right rules. Person who is closest with the correct quarterback will be the winner. All you have to do is comment, and I'll tell you to email me, and we'll get you set up for a 5-day pass so you guys can get that sweet content. So that's what I've got for you guys. Hopefully you're still sticking around. Good luck in week 2. Let me know how you did in week 1. And let's bring home some bacon, guys. Peace.